Welcome everybody to the Third Touch Soccer Podcast.
Let's go!
My name is Sam Loomy. I'm here with Michael McLaughlin and Connor Walsh.
Back from the dead.
How is everybody doing? How's everyone's summer going?
Long and hot.
It's hot. It's hot. I don't like.
You don't like the
I
summer?
don't have air conditioning in my apartment in New York, in Brooklyn, because I live in Brooklyn, because I live in New York, because I'm
sorry.
better. in Brooklyn.
Dude, you're a hipster, dude?
Well, I'm growing a beard, and artisanal cheeses. There's a cheese store I work at now. It's pretty good. I mean, I don't know.
What's your go-to craft beverage of choice?
Actually, craft beer is kind of overrated. I'm more now just into straight American Budweiser, because that's like, I don't know, whatever.
That's like reverse hipster. I like that. That's like
I've heard every brewery has a huge cheese selection. You're not a real brewery if you don't have a big cheese board selection. Is that true, Mike?
A friend of mine went to the Coney Island Brewery the other day in Coney Island.
I had their beer on draft at the bar. Yeah.
Oh, would you have the Pilsner?
I had the I forgot now. List them. I'll remember.
I don't remember. But I know that they do have a great big giant cheese section.
Yeah. Cool.
It's like I don't know that.
cheese is lit.
All right. Well, this has been a while. Anyway, for listeners out there, we truly, dearly apologize for the lack of content in the last few weeks. Summer has been thrown upon us. We have been busy with scheduling, vacations. I know, Mike, you've moved around a bunch of times. Career changes. Kids been out of school. There has been a lot going on in the world of soccer. We haven't forgot about you, the MLS. We haven't forgotten about you, the Premier League. But a quick rundown since we last recorded. Germany have won the Confederations Cup. Germany have won the Euro Under-21s tournament. England has won the Under-20 World Cup. I think we covered that in one of our last podcasts. But England have also won the Euro Under-19 championships. And of course, the beloved MLS has still been going on whilst we've been taking this hiatus, and right now we are currently in the latter stages of Senor Gold Oro CONCACAF.
Mr. Gold Oro. Oh, Gold Oro. All right. Yeah, Gold Cup. Sucks.
Copa Oro.
Copa Oro.
Oh, hold on. Before we get all into this, let's be honest. Last night's game it was pretty cool.
It was pretty cool.
Okay, the date is, but what's the date? 23rd today, July. So we're talking about the game last night, Costa Rica versus the United States, Gold Cup semi-final. Go ahead, Michael. Sorry for interrupting you.
Yep. Wait, do we have any structure? What are we doing?
No, this is a loose. We're loose as a goose right now.
Obviously, the game, all the Gold Cup is boring. It's kind of like whatever. You watch like the C team play, the B team. And then last night was fun, man. It was a fun game, and I know my favorite part. But Connor, what did you like?
Well, the Gold Cup shouldn't be boring because if people stop their summer to watch the Euros, Copa America is great, and this is our version of these tournaments. But for some reason, it isn't viewed the same way, and I think people really need to check their attitudes when they look at this tournament because when the Euros are on. I know me personally, I watch every game, and the Gold Cup, for some reason, even for me still, is not the same, and I think it really needs to be. However, being every 2 years is a shambolic decision by CONCACAF. But
okay, for people out there who don't know what the Gold Cup is, it is the North American version of...
And Central American.
Central American version of the Continent Cup, like the Euros, the Asian Cup, and the African Nations Cup. What it is, the TV deals aren't there. The media attention's not there. I mean, I'm waiting for the kickoff yesterday. I have to watch the bottom of the ninth inning, the Texas Rangers game.
Bro, shout out to the Rangers for ending 5 minutes early though, because that was a bold move by Fox, putting a baseball game on. I mean, still though, there's no pregame show for the Gold Cup semifinal USA. Poor Fox. You got to step it up. World Cup's next summer. Figure it out. And then you have Rob Stone on Twitter, defending Fox with his dear life on Twitter to all these fans that are like, yo, this is a massive tournament, a massive game, and there's no pregame show, and you guys have the World Cup next summer. And he's being, snarky and cute with people. Rob, tell your boys to figure it out, man. We really, this isn't It's unacceptable, honestly. But shout out to the Texas Rangers for getting it done in 9 innings
against the Rays
on the road. Big road win for the Rangers, man.
4-3, I believe. But I mean, the coverage obviously isn't there. But we started out with this Gold Cup, the group stages. USA eased through the group stages after a 1-1 draw against Panama. They played
Martinique
and Nicaragua. And Nicaragua in the final game, they had to win by 3 clear goals. They did that with a goal by Omar Gonzalez in the last 5 minutes to get on the other side of the draw of Mexico, which the whole Gold Cup is set up for the United States, Mexico.
It literally is, because if you look at both semifinals, one was in Dallas and the other one is in LA. So they are obviously pandering towards the Mexican audience, assuming that Mexico will be in one of those 2 locations. It's essentially a home game, regardless of where they end up.
And if you guys remember, what was the last time Mexico played USA in the final?
The
2011, Bob Bradley's last game.
No, it was after that. They played after that one time.
Oh, they did.
Because the last one 2 years ago was Mexico, Jamaica, after the Bati boys finessed Uncle Jurgen out of final berth.
Awesome, yo! The other dead air. But I don't know what Sam, did you watch the game last night, and what did you think?
I had to work last night, but I watched bits and bobs of the game. But I mean, my overall kind of conclusion about this Gold Cup: 1, squad changes halfway through the tournament, which is unlike any other tournament. We started out this tournament with fringe players, potential players coming into the squad under Bruce Arena, maybe trying to get the call up for the World Cup next summer. We saw Dom Dwyer come in, we saw Callum Acosta come in, we saw a youthful kind of mixture of experienced MLS players and people who wanted to see being called up to the national team, and the Gold Cup is used for that, but going forward after the group stages, now the rules allow teams to call up players, pretty much
6 players. You're allowed six players can get called up, which means that 6 players get sent home.
So they call the big boys in. Now, I want to ask you a question. Are you okay with this format as long as it allows and a USA, more than favorites to win this cup now? Because Mexico really didn't make any changes. Costa Rica didn't really make any changes.
Costa Rica didn't make a single change to the roster. But that's also because 6 Costa Rican starters are currently injured right now. Joel Campbell, among probably Costa Rica's best player, among those players that were not available for this tournament. I think a lot of people in the U.S. soccer community were surprised by some of the players that were sent home. I mean, Kellen Rowe was arguably our best player in the group stage. Dom Dwyer was the striker that I think people were expecting. He showed up. He was a mobile, fast striker.
So do these players scenario USA win the final? Do these players just turn up and lift the trophy and celebrate on the field?
Well, the problem is this tournament, what is the point of the group stage? Is it? I think Bruce needs every game to evaluate players going into these World Cup qualifiers and the World Cup next summer. And I think that, we don't know what Bruce is thinking, but did he see enough from Christian Roldan, who was okay? He was good. Kellen Rowe, who was very good. Dom Dwyer, who was very good. Did he see enough to call those guys up for the World Cup qualifier September 1st against Costa Rica? Or did he not see enough and sent them home? And it's kind of a weird way to evaluate players in the middle of a tournament. It's very unique, and I'm not sure I'm on board with that, viewing the tournament in that way.
I mean, I believe Bruce had his squad in mind before the tournament even started. He knew who was going to go home after the group stages.
Well,
confirmed. If you're going to go on actual performances and the way they played, Callum Costa had a terrible group stage those 3 games. He didn't play well at all.
Well, to be fair to him, it was Bruce's fault a little bit, man. That game against Martinique, he's playing Roldan and Acosta next to each other, who are not one of them as a defensive midfielder traditionally. Acosta's more of a box-to-box player, can create. Roldan is not a number 8 or whatever, a number 6. And I honestly, I have it in my notes here. I think Bruce had some Klinsmann-esque moments in that group stage where a lot of the player selection, in my eyes, didn't make a whole lot of sense.
I don't think.
But you're telling me he didn't come to the conclusion before the tournament.
No, he did. Brad Guzan knew 100% he was going home, and it wasn't Guzan's fault. Obviously, he's on the World Cup qualifying roster. Now that his season with Middlesbrough's end and he's had a little bit of a vacation, he's going to Atlanta United. He's already started. He started Friday night for Atlanta.
Is this more of a fair play to the MLS teams who have these players, would you say? Is there kind of a mini contract written up for these guys?
I don't know about a contract. I think that...
Like a verbal contract.
What does Bruce need to see from... he gets Guzan for 3 games, and then he gets Howard for quarterfinal, semifinal. So 3 games. He has 2 best goalies for 3 games. 3 group stage games from Guzan and 3 knockout games from Howard.
I will say this: the whole experience of watching it is like it starts, and I don't give a shit. I'm just like whatever.
Why don't you give a shit?
I don't. Hold on. I don't. Yeah, I DVR the games, and then I kind of fast forward through it, and then. Yeah, seriously, that's what I do. That's what I do in the group stage.
But you watch every under-20 USA World Cup game minute to minute.
Mike's our youth national team resident expert.
But no, I do watch all those because that's cool. But this was I watched 2 of the games almost totally, and then the other one I kind of fast forward through. But the thing, it is weird when they get to the actual knockout phase. And you get the bigger stars in there. I care more, and I watch the whole game. And then last night's game, I went from, oh yeah, I'm gonna watch this game definitely.
Well, night's game
to being into it like a real game. Like
it
real
felt like a big tournament game. It was a lot at stake. The big guys were there. I think a lot of this particular Gold Cup
bandwagoners.
Well, listen, USA. Jesus,
Gold Cup never. Not that it's never stood a chance, but Confederations Cup happened this summer. Mexico is gone with their best team. Right in the middle of a World Cup qualifying cycle. No one is more concerned. No one cares about winning this Gold Cup because people care, but if winning this Gold Cup does not get you a Confederations Cup spot, so there's less at stake. And I think,
I think it does get you, dude. I think it gets you into the playoff game for the next year.
So the experience of a straight knockout game.
No. I think if you win this Gold Cup, you go to. If you win this Gold Cup and you're the winner of the next Gold Cup, you go to the Confederations Cup.
No,
if you win this Gold Cup and then say USA win this Gold Cup and then the next Gold Cup, Mexico wins it.
Oh, you
then
go into a playoff game.
And Mexico play in a playoff game to go to the Confederations Cup.
Oh, maybe, yeah. I think, yeah, you could be right.
That's 3 cups that no one gives a shit about.
the
Count them all
Brooklyn
up.
Might be right. But do you give a fuck about the Confederations Cup?
No, not at all.
I personally
care
way much. I care way more about the Gold Cup, the Confederations Cup. I didn't watch a single Confederations Cup game that I wasn't working for, which meant I was forced to watch it being a soccer bar. But when I was home chilling, I wasn't throwing the Confederations Cup on. I'm sorry. I have watched 0 games this summer, other than MLS and USA games. I'm not watching preseason. I'm not doing it. Me and Sam watched the preseason game, the United Real Madrid game today. You should have seen this penalty kick display.
Did you see it, Mike?
I saw the one run for the first goal by United. Was that Lukaku? I was working at a soccer bar.
No, it was Martial.
Martial, that was nice.
Through,
yeah, that
players,
was nice.
And then set up Jesse Lingard for the tap in. But then Real Madrid sent their youth team out in the second half, and Casemiro scored that penalty. The latest challenge in the world on I don't know who he fouled, but it was Lindelof who gave away the penalty. But it went to penalties in this international Champions Cup.
Yes.
But it was the worst penalty shootout I probably have ever seen in my life.
Wild. It was wild. It was indescribable. The lack of quality and the lack of caring. Not that you need to care for this, but
I mean the pressure wasn't there, and I think 80% of the kicks were missed. United.
They're just like lazy kicks.
Well, the dude that United signed from Benfica, Lindelof, it was the worst penalty kick ever taken. He literally passed it to the goalkeeper, and dude from Madrid didn't move, just chilled and caught the ball.
But preseason, United have been doing well. I don't want to move on from the Gold Cup. I know there's games going on tonight, Mexico versus Jamaica.
Yep, 9 o'clock.
The final will be on Wednesday. Another weird day for a final. Wednesday, Gold Cup.
It's been a weird tournament. It's just been an odd situation.
You know what wasn't weird? Josie Altidore's pecs and abs and
all right. So did he purposely take his shirt off after getting, I guess, molested by El Salvadorians, who put on the best slum football display I've ever seen in my life?
But wait, why would he take his shirt off because of that? Just
because
like
his nipples were like finessed, and then like his shirt's
off? Oh, he
off.
got bit.
Dude, my boys, I have like one of my boys texting me.
Dude, that
doesn't
shirt
watch
came
soccer.
off. He knew he was gonna take his shirt off when he scored a goal. I felt like
My boy was like, "Yo, bro, the Josie Altidore dude should be in the NFL. He's sick." I'm like, yeah, bro, he's a horse.
No, dude, I was watching it with a friend of mine, a lady,
Ooh.
and well, yeah, nah, but she goes, "Oh, woo," when he took his shirt off.
And they did it in slow motion as well, so you saw that muscle kind of wave.
And I'm such a fucking nerd. I'm just like, that's a yellow
high
card.
definition format.
Nothing gets me going than Haitian immigrants taking their shirts off. That's the best thing.
Oh, by the way, Connor just poured Mio Netto
Prosecco Doc Traviso Brut.
Today's episode is sponsored by,
and the buzz is provided by Mio Netto Prosecco Doc Treviso Brut.
But talking about Josie Altidore and the rest of the USA players in this tournament. I mean, it was a good finish, obviously, and he was very excited by that. It was a good breakthrough. Yeah. It was kind of nip-tuck throughout that whole game. It could have gone either way. There was chances on both sides. Josie Altidore does that, every 10 years, those types of finishes. At the big stage, okay, you're rolling your eyes there, Mike, but, I mean, how often do we see Josie Altidore do that kind of Michael Owen chip finish in a big game? Yeah, exactly.
He hadn't scored in his previous 10 matches after scoring 8 in a row in 8 games.
3 years ago against Bosnia-Herzegovina in
Herzegovina,
whatever. Herzegovina. It was he had 3 goals. One was a free kick, but I think that might have been a friendly. So I guess you're right.
This game mattered, and the stage is set for. He's coming in to the knockout stages. He has something to prove. I feel like he does have something to prove for the national team. He's got
2009 Confederations Cup versus Spain.
He's got young guns coming up behind him, quick and fast. He's also got an Englishman coming up behind him who scored 2 goals in the group stages. We know it was against Panama and Martinique.
Real quick, do you think, just yes or no, did Dom Dwyer do enough to make the World Cup qualifying roster for the game in September?
Well, if you put who's the strikers ahead of him, we're going to have Bobby Wood, Josie Altidore, Clint Dempsey.
No, Morris.
It's Morris. Morris is more dangerous than Dom Dwyer.
I
he's better.
I think right now Dom Dwyer is obviously a better finisher. He's a better goal scorer than Jordan
but Morris I think is better. Is far superior upside. Plus,
he's American.
He's fast. He's just fast. So Dom Dwyer's American. So,
dude, Dom Dwyer is probably faster than Jordan Morris.
Dom Dwyer?
No, nobody's faster than Jordan Morris.
He looks like if Diego Costa had all his kind of compartments, symmetrical. That's what Dom Dwyer looks like.
If he wasn't just beaten up in the slums his whole youth, that's what Dom Dwyer looks like.
I don't know if he did enough.
I don't think so. What do you think?
I think it's inconclusive. I don't know if he did enough. I don't think he wowed anyone. I think he did okay. He probably was going to get sent home regardless if he scored 5 goals.
So him just
0 goals.
Him just simply showing up and scoring goals, which is his job.
It's okay. Done. Job done.
Good enough to make the roster? No.
I think there's better players ahead of him. I think there's.
Yeah.
Is Jordan Morris a better player than Dom Dwyer? Nope.
I don't know. I think so. Yeah.
Nope.
I think
he's not.
Connor, you're not thinking right. Jordan Morris has world-class speed.
Whoa, son. He's an American donkey.
World-class.
He's an American donkey, bro.
No, guys. I don't think you heard me. I said world-class speed. Okay? Jordan Morris. No, dude, look it up. Google Jordan Morris fast, and then everyone's like, he's the fastest guy they ever met. That's what they say.
Okay, all listeners,
DeAndre Yedlin
Google
said
Jordan
this
Morris
guy's faster
fast,
than
and
yeah, do it right now. Google Jordan Morris
I'm doing
fast.
it. I'm
You'll
gonna
see
do it.
two guys go. He's the fastest guy I've ever seen.
I heard Michael Phelps is swimming against a shark tomorrow. Is that happening?
Probably
Really?
more so in the Gold Cup.
Sharknado.
So you should put Jordan Morris up against Cheetah. See who wins.
All right.
He's not.
Second
Well,
result on Google for Jordan Morris fast is Major League Soccer on Twitter. Jordan Morris. Jordan.Morris.is.fast. If that isn't the most conclusive as evidence, I don't know what we're ever gonna find.
I'm telling when I say
There's Mike
something,
McLaughlin underneath there as well.
oh, does it? Yeah,
Says
that's
Mike
right.
McLaughlin.
I got some retweets on that one.
Dom Dwyer? I don't know if he did enough. I mean, he scored.
I think he's good.
He scored 3 and 4 for the national team. I think he's just proud to be there. I don't think he's expecting to get a call up. Do you think he's expecting?
I don't think he has the resume to expect that.
But put Dom Dwyer in the squad now. You know, with the Bradley service, with the Callum Acosta playing in that role, with better players around him, with Dempsey playing alongside Dempsey. That was a C team. More or less in group stages of the Gold Cup. You put better players around Dom Dwyer, he's probably going to get more chances and have a better scoring ratio.
I think he reminds me of Hercules Gomez back like 2010.
Yeah,
solid.
I think there's some merit to that for sure.
Athletic. One thing I did want to say is we shit on Michael Bradley a lot, or we were, I think. But isn't it crazy how
he's
much
a game
different
changer.
he looks?
Like the last 2 games, game changer.
Yeah, isn't it crazy? And it's just because he's paired up with Acosta. He doesn't have Jermaine Jones. Jermaine Jones is done, right? I mean,
hopefully, no, dude, because you need some locomotion. You need a player like Acosta that can make runs forward and get into space.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like Jermaine Jones isn't just not doing that.
If the 2 center backs are organized and Michael and Bradley's in front of him, dude, Bradley looks so good.
I mean, the amount of minutes I've seen in the last 2 games is pretty minimal, but I've looked up and I've seen Bradley on the ball, calm the ship, spread the play, search, and just kind of he runs the show. He really
looks
does.
like Michael Bradley from like 4 or 5 years ago that was ripping it up.
What?
Bruce,
I had a question for you guys. What player has been the most impressive, and what player has been the least impressive so far?
Most impressive player. I'm just gonna go off. I'm not gonna. Well, I could go off the group play. But all right, least impressive player has probably been Paul Areola. Even though I think he's great and I like him, he just looked. He's a speed and
dude, what
fast.
is he? Is he a winger? Is he a midfielder? Like, what is he? Does he play good? Does he play bad? I don't understand him at all.
And I don't think he downgraded himself at all. But I just don't. He just didn't upgrade himself. But he really frustrated me. But obviously, number one, my boy, MLS MVP this year. And finally, everybody's catching on. Darlington Nagbe, second best player in our whole pool on the ball control. He's the only other guy other than Pulisic that he can have his back to goal. You can play the ball to him. He can turn and beat 2 guys.
I'm not gonna disagree. I don't know if you want to say he's the second best player in the. You might be right. I don't know, dude.
I don't know. I'm just trying to get excited about it, but I think I just love watching him play.
Yeah, no, and I think yesterday was probably his best game in a United States shirt. I thought he played very well yesterday.
So, scenario, if USA don't win this tournament, how is Bruce going to look bringing in those changes, and how are the players going to kind of take that in if they lose to Mexico in the final? If, say, Mexico make it, no disrespect to Jamaica.
That's the country of Jamaica. I was thinking that I think no matter what, Bruce is golden, dude. He's 13-0.
Yeah, that was funny.
But I mean, he's still undefeated, Bruce Arena. We still have to take that in consideration. The standard of play. I mean, it's the Gold Cup. It's Martinique. It's Nicaragua. Yeah. It's an okay Panama side. USA,
it's a good Panama team.
USA should still be beaten. I know the standard's gone up.
But dude, look at the Euros. Hungary, who was actually good, but Northern Ireland, it's the same thing, man. It really, obviously, I'm sure Northern Ireland would do okay
I mean,
against Martinique, but
the standard of football in the last 10 years has definitely gone up.
You said it yourself. You said that Martinique they were okay. Like they showed up and
they had some players. Nicaragua weren't a good team.
No,
but Martinique actually had some guys who could play.
Well, you got to think
Smith guy, I think, or someone who was.
That's what I thought last night's against Costa Rica. It wasn't like a CONCACAF like kick everybody in the calf type of game. But Costa Rica played straight up and played well. I thought it was good, man. It wasn't like that El Salvador game. That's a CONCACAF game. It's like, oh, we're losing. Kick him in the calf. And they just, he biting people and all that. I thought it was. I was thinking about you, Sam. I was like, I wonder.
Part and parcel of the Gold Cup. Like, I have these fans come into the bar and they're bitching, they're swearing. They're pissed off with Josie Altidore getting, pinched and spat on. But isn't he experienced enough to kind of handle that? He's played in. This is his third or fourth Gold Cup. This isn't the first time he's been, pinched. I remember John Terry in the Premier League, Fernando Torres when he had long hair, pulling his hair every single game. It happens in a game, and if you see Josie Altidore getting frustrated,
you don't get bit on the shoulder blade every single game.
Dude, that was Luis Suarez got banned by FIFA for 1 year. That. Romero from El Salvador.
Sam literally just goes,
no, but look at Luis Suarez did the same thing. Got a 1 year ban from FIFA. Romero,
it's just a hickey.
A slum footballing god, only gets a 3-game or 6-game ban.
Oh, is that he got a 6-game ban?
Shit,
6-game ban.
Oh, that's enough.
It should have been a year.
Come on, dude.
If Suarez gets it, why doesn't Junior from El Salvador get it?
They struggle to fill a side.
All right, whatever. Back to what we're saying. I'm saying it was the CONCACAF is better than it's ever been with the top 3 or 4 teams. As far as we're watching them play together, it's not that far off of a European, two really good European sides going at.
Do you guys think it should be every 4 years,
yes.
like every?
Yes.
But I mean, the African Cup of Nations is every 2 years.
They just switched every 4 years and in the summer.
Plus, we're also going to get invited to the Copa like every couple of years anyway, so they might as well.
Or why don't they just combine the two?
That's a lot of teams.
Yeah, that's a lot.
That's too much.
Can I say one thing before we completely move on? This is rewinding it like 5 minutes, not to hijack, but Matt Hedges for me was by far the most disappointing player. For MLS Defender of the Year last year, it's supposed to be a solid center back. I think he was shocking. And I think that the United States severely lacks leadership in that position without Jeff Cameron. If Jeff Cameron isn't playing, I think our defense is really struggles because no one takes control. Omar Gonzalez hasn't opened his mouth in 8 years. His mouth is glued shut.
I thought he played well yesterday until the second half. He got beat a couple times, but I thought he played him and Beasley played pretty well, but I know exactly what you're saying. And who was the guy you thought performed the best?
It's really tough with this group because of the switches from group stage to now. It's not like you have one team where one guy performs all tournament. I think Kellen Rowe made the biggest name for himself so far because you expect Dempsey to play well, you expect Bradley to play well, you expect Josie to do something. I think Kellen Rowe, being a fringe guy who's new to the situation. He shows up to the group stage and balls. He balled in the group stage, man. He was one of the few bright spots. Because, yes, the U.S. won 3 games. They did not look pretty. It was some of the ugliest. That's right. Yeah. They drew Panama, but...
it's funny. Well, I said I agree with you about Kellen Rowe. But I thought, talking about Nagbe, just because I thought he played so well last night, was how much the U.S. just played through him, almost every possession. They got to the point to where you got to give it to Nagbe and see if he breaks somebody down. And I wonder, is Nagbe gonna get a look anywhere else other than Portland? Is it gonna get a European look?
He's gotten the look. He was in Glasgow with looking at Celtic. He was there. He was in the city and didn't pull the trigger. I think as a 26, 27-year-old, I don't think he needs to move. He's gonna be in the U.S. roster for the rest of his career, and he's plays for one of the best teams in MLS. It's up to if he wants to move. It's going to be him wanting to test himself. It's not going to be a club. You know what I mean? It's not like.
So you're saying that 26, 27, the likelihood of you becoming a better player is low? Like he couldn't improve?
You can always improve, but I don't know. I don't know what I'm trying to say. I don't think he.
No, I actually agree with what you're saying because we're talking about MLS is like it's in transition. It's becoming a main league. We're in the baby's years of it actually being. In 10 years when they look back at these years, they're going to think that MLS has always been considered a top league.
You try and think of how many players have left the MLS between the 25 and 30-year-old age kind of cap and gone to Europe and have been successful. I can't think of one.
Well, Donovan, he was I think 29.
Dude, he played for Everton for like half a second.
Yeah, but talk to those Everton fans because they still talk about it, bro. He was storming down the right side. This one, Sam was super anti-American. He's coming to my house and watching Everton games.
Easy,
he'd be like, he passed it into the net.
Easy, dude.
He passed it into the net. No, American soccer, not.
All right,
American.
talking about Donovan. I mean, we're going to move on to the summer of transfers, and then we're going to talk about the MLS, obviously, later in the show. But one argument is Dempsey tied the goal scoring record of Landon Donovan yesterday. What are your thoughts? Who's the better guy here, guys? Is it Sir Clint or Sir Landon?
For me, it is 100% Clint. No questions asked. Mike rolls his eyes.
I roll my eyes.
Big Everton guy.
No, not a big Everton guy, but Donovan. If you look at their play, like their body, everything, who they are, Donovan was a much more important player to the team. I mean, he was the superstar. Donovan's still the best player we've ever had. I think Dempsey statistically will go down as the best.
Which means the best.
I think nostalgia plays a big part in your decision here, Mike, because you watched the 2002 World Cup, you saw this kid score goals against Portugal, and he scored against Mexico in the last 16. He had a great tournament, and the Algeria goal and that moment, the stuff he gave you as a fan is bigger than what Clint Dempsey has given you as a fan. Clint Dempsey's given you a lot, but I feel like Donovan's given you more.
I think that Algeria moment is so paramount. And for me, too, it was the best moment I've ever... For me, it was the best moment I've ever had in sports. Hands down, Donovan goal against Algeria. It was crazy, I got chills thinking about it, man. Honestly.
So you guys vote. I mean, It can't be a democratic vote.
I
don't think I have a vote here. So
I think you have the best vote because you're a neutral who lives here and knows. You know what you're talking about.
Hold on. Can I make one more case for Donovan? As a player, by talent and how in his skill wise, he's a more skilled. You would start your team around a 24-year-old Landon Donovan than you would over a 24-year-old Clint Dempsey.
Why?
Speed, touch, accuracy of pass.
Dempsey has more goals.
Dempsey's got a beat on the hairline, but other than that, I think Donovan's got. All right, Dempsey is so sick at like being slick with the ball. I love Dempsey, and he's just so deft of touch. He is great, but I think Donovan actually has more. He just would catch your eye more if they're both young. They're both like 25.
I feel like if they were the same age, well, they are the same age, right?
I think Donovan's a couple years older. Yeah.
I don't know about this.
Donovan's 35. Deuce is 34.
All right,
Deuce also has equal goals and 21 less appearances. Obviously, Dempsey or Donovan was more of a wide player at times, and Dempsey's always been through the middle.
Also, Clint is playing in a time period where these Central American teams are harder to score against. Donovan was playing against Martinique when they were scoring 6.
Donovan said it himself last night that Dempsey's record is more impressive than his own. And obviously, she's a humble guy. I think a lot of people will say that.
If you add in just the Fulham years too, it's over. I mean, yeah, Dempsey wins on paper statistically. I just think that watching Donovan at his best one game is going to be more impactful than Dempsey at his best for one game.
Did you see Dempsey at his best last night coming around the second half? He changed the entire game. He literally changed the game.
It was great.
I don't know, man. I'm a big Deuce is probably my favorite soccer player ever.
And he has one more World Cup left in him as well, so he has a lot more to give to the national team, which is kind of exciting for a 34-year-old.
He's going to come off the bench in the World Cup, but if he can accept that role, he can come off the bench and play 20 minutes and do what he did last night.
Get an assist and a goal. He's our best free kick taker, I think, now.
That was a sick free kick last night.
Dude,
and he knew he was going in. He started running away as soon as he kicked it.
Dude, when he gets up to take a free kick, I'm like, I think he's gonna put it in.
He's so swaggy, bro.
Yeah.
Clint Dempsey from Swagadocious, Texas.
All right, here's a better way to put it. All right, I'll go with you to say Dempsey's the best of all time. But this is what I'll say. Dempsey's, if talent potential, Dempsey surpassed his potential more than any other player, I think, ever in soccer. And Donovan probably just hit his potential.
Yeah, Connor left. He's getting the wine. But
sweet, I mean, great. Thanks, Connor.
I mean, Dempsey has definitely impacted Europe more than Donovan did. I know you love Donovan's Everton spell there, but consistency over his career. I know what you're talking about. He is the poster child, Donovan. Dempsey is not the poster child. Donovan was one of the first world superstars for the national team. That hits closer to home for you. And Dempsey's, the follow-on star, even though they're similar ages. Does that,
Yeah, no, I think so. Yeah, I mean, maybe. I just think that I think it's positional because Donovan played as a number 10 when he was younger a few times. He always played, on the wing. If he was dominant, he could kind of take over a game, but he would go quiet a lot. Dempsey actually never goes quiet. You always kind of know where he is and what he's doing. What are you guys drinking?
Prosecco. And that pop was sponsored by the culture.
But moving on. We got 20 minutes left of the show, but we have to talk about the Premier League transfers. I don't know how closely you've been looking at these transfers over the summer, Michael, but there's been some big ones. And there's been some rumors as well. Only a few weeks ago, I'm listening to other podcasts talking about Ronaldo leaving. Now I'm hearing Neymar is leaving. I've heard Mbappe.
I thought he left. I thought he signed PSG, or is that bullshit?
Well,
La Parisien, whatever, that French newspaper today said that he agreed to it. But then Gerard Piqué posted some corny Instagram of the two of them with grinning, and it just said staying in Spanish.
Yeah, I mean,
Sucks.
Neymar played yesterday at MetLife Stadium.
And bald.
And absolute masterclass. But I mean, the summer is full of rumors. The media love to make up stories. I mean, Ronaldo. It was all over the papers, the podcast, the internet a month ago when we took the hiatus. Apparently, he was going back to Manchester United. Apparently, he was going to China. Apparently, he was. And I was thinking, is this even worth talking about? Ronaldo is not going anywhere. He has a small tax bill, which he's going to settle with the authorities as soon as possible. I would love to see him at Manchester United. It's never going to happen. Maybe in...
It's not going to happen.
3-5. I really don't think it's going to happen. He had... prime of his career was at United, and he's been very successful. He's at the biggest club in the world right now. He won every trophy available last year. He's not touring with his club this summer. He's in China doing a promotional tour. But Neymar now is apparently going to PSG. They're going to trigger a release clause. He put on the Barcelona shirt last night. Absolute masterclass. He's going nowhere, I believe. But there has been some big transfers. Lukaku to Manchester United. Everton to Manchester United for £75 million. We've seen Morata to Chelsea. We have seen Kyle Walker to Manchester City.
Manchester City's just been cashing out on outside backs.
I mean, just imagine how much Kyle Walker would be worth if he could cross the ball, really. I think he'd
be worth more than Neymar if he could cross the ball. You know who's overrated is Morata. I think he's the most overrated player in the world, but I'm not going to go off on that.
We'll go back to that in a second, but James Rodriguez on loan to Bayern Munich for 2 years, which is kind of a weird transfer, I think, with the amount of talent Bayern Munich have in that attacking midfield. Kind of odd how he's going to fit in there, but he wasn't getting a look in at Real Madrid, but he's off there. I guess he's going to play.
He's not going to play there. It's
weird. Bernardo Silva, $43 million to Manchester City. Bakayoko, Monaco, $40 million
to Chelsea.
And Liverpool.
What about Lacazette? First time.
I was going to leave that to the end, dude. I was going to get you all excited because Arsenal have signed a striker
who's mobile and can finish.
Who scores in the French league, and he's 28 years old.
He's 26.
We've never heard of him. He's 28. It must be great. His name's...
Oh, before I forget...
No. Okay.
Before I forget, there's the three highest players that are scoring goals for their country right now. Ronaldo 1, Messi 2, Clint Dempsey 3. He's third in active players in goals for country.
Right.
Let's talk about Bakayoko to Chelsea. Let's talk about Benjamin Mendy.
I want to talk about
City.
we have to talk about the Lukaku for a second. We have to talk about did Manchester United lose out on this Morata deal?
Nope.
Is Lukaku a better striker than Morata? I heard this one podcast. I'm not gonna expose them, but I heard Manchester United did the worst deal possible. They should have paid 20-30 million more for Morata than they did for Lukaku because of his credibility in Real Madrid and how he's more active than Lukaku. A lot of pundits and critics say Lukaku is pretty much one-dimensional. That's all he's got in his bag. He's lazy. He doesn't score with his head. But I feel like a proven Premier League goal scorer at £75 million with the way the market's going right now is a deal and a half, I feel. How do you feel, Mike?
Wait. I don't even know who Morata is. I'm like, is that a cheese? Does that come in a bag? Is that wet cheese?
It's one of those craft beer cheeses, the brewery cheese.
Yeah, I know. It's a good cheese. No, I know. I like Lukaku. I watch him, and I think it's a great signing by United. How old is Lukaku? He's 24, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think.
Well, I think the stats. The last 4 years, Lukaku scored 105 goals. Morata scored 40 goals. He comes off the bench for Real Madrid.
He scored 15 in 26 appearances.
He was. He was.
With a lot. How many minutes was he playing? Because he was coming up. So he was.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, it wasn't going to be a starter ahead of Ronaldo because he's playing.
Yeah, soccer had
or
this,
Benzema for that matter.
Benzema.
Has there been any sabermetrics in soccer where they actually can break down minutes per on the field?
Yeah, of course.
To your goal relation or to your score?
Like Olivier Giroud has the highest minutes per goal ratio in the Premier League.
Like Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's goals to minutes was crazy. Hernandez at Manchester United.
Speaking of that, that was the one big transfer that you forgot to mention was the
Javier Hernandez Chicharito, as he's more commonly known as, has signed for West Ham United 13 million.
Yep.
A lot of people saying this is the bargain of the century. What is your view on Javier Hernandez? Let's just say since he's left Manchester United, he went to Bayern Leverkusen. He's played in the Champions League. He's had a good season. He had an off season last season.
He did, but the whole team.
He went to Real Madrid first, then he went to Leverkusen.
Correct. He went on loan to Real Madrid.
So here's my take on Chicharito. One of the best poaching striker, like a pure poacher. He's so good at being in the box and making his smart little runs.
Yeah.
You know that sports science thing ESPN does where they
I like
they did that for Chicharito a few years back, and he's so explosive and quick in the box. Like it was really cool, but he did have a bad year last year. However, Leverkusen sucked and their entire team was injured, and it was kind of a disastrous season for them. I think it's a potentially very good signing for West Ham. However, he's not going to receive the service he got at Man U.
Where did West Ham finish in the league last year?
That's a good question. 11th, 12th.
Mid-table, right? Mid-table. All right.
They have this they have this guy Antonio who's a big bullish striker, English guy. He gets injured a lot. He's like a Phil Jones striker. He's just Mr. Glass up front. But he scores a lot of goals. But that style of play that West Ham have is not the same as Manchester United. So him coming over and playing for a mid-table club is not going to guarantee goals.
But in West Ham's defense, with Manuel Lanzini, and they also signed Arnautovic, that's a pretty decent front three.
Signing Arnautovic, is that confirmed?
Oh, it's done.
Oh, it's done.
Done. So it's not the worst front three.
A guy coming from Stoke City?
Who's a good player on his day. A very good player on his day.
Very inconsistent.
Chin.
But I can see this working out great actually for West Ham, because in the English league it is a lot of, especially with a team like West Ham, it's a lot of, end of the game, you're trying to get the draw and you're just kicking the ball up the field, you're just trying to maintain some possession. And Chicharito is like the best at sort of
that's what he was good. Alex Ferguson knew how to play him because he was never he was a guy off the bench. Same as he's going to be starting for West Ham United. He's going to be looking to start for West Ham United every game.
Some people say that the
go on.
Bundesliga is better than Premier League, and he did a good I don't think so, but it's not the most crazy argument. And he did He scored 28 in 54 appearances for Leverkusen.
And his first season was great.
He was sick. He was so sick.
Yeah. So maybe I'm going off of seeing him a lot against USA and against CONCACAF teams, and he looks that he's not the best at like creating his own.
He hasn't done much for Mexico in the last
48 goals in 96 appearances. That's exactly a 1 goal per 2 games ratio, which is pretty solid for a striker.
All right.
But yeah, you're right. He hasn't been as great for them.
CONCACAF, it's
bro. Martinique they can fill the squad, bro.
Yeah.
What was I going to say? I was going to talk about Everton as well. They've made some big signings. They've Jordan Pickford, the goalkeeper, under 21s, distribution 100. They got the Michael Keane guy. They beat Manchester United to that signing, I believe. They got him.
Burnley center back.
And they signed a striker to replace Lukaku. His name is slipping me.
They signed Henry Onuaku from
They
Belgium.
signed Wayne Rooney.
What?
Oh, dude, this guy's fresh. Jose Baxter, played for Oldham. But
wait, didn't Everton just sign Rooney?
Yeah, Rooney went. Yeah, that was a big one. We all forgot about Rooney. Yeah, shit.
Wayne Rooney is on Everton.
Yeah, Wayne Rooney, everybody.
I hope you think he's gonna play.
They signed Sandro Ramirez, who was
talking about Wayne Rooney.
Well, he was Spain's striker in the under 21 Euros.
Wayne Rooney back at Everton. Your take on this, Mike? Happy?
All right. If I'm Wayne Rooney, you got to lose a lot of. I'm happy. I think he needs to lose a lot of weight and just get fast again, and maybe
he can't get fast at 31. Wayne Rooney is not going to increase his speed at this stage of his career.
A 41-year-old just finished like 4th at the 100-meter finals in not the Worlds, and like one of those Golden Grand Prix. He just ran a 9.9.
Wait, what? Hold on. What? I wasn't listening. I was looking at the internet. What were you saying?
Listen up. A 41-year-old just ran. I think it's something Gibbons or anyway. It's he's got a girl's name, but. It's like Tina, or I don't know what his name is.
Gender is a social construct.
But this 41-year-old, well, I live in this fucking borough. It is. Jesus. Walk out the street, I'm scared half the day. No, but everybody, dude, this guy's 41 years old, and he ran under 10 second 100 meters. 41. No, it's on. You can Google. You can YouTube it. It's
dude. Rooney's not going to increase his speed. Like, he scored a great goal. His debut goal was very similar to the first goal he scored as a 16-year-old. It was a
best goal.
Yeah, he was against Arsenal.
I didn't see it.
Yeah, go Google it.
The goal against Arsenal when he was 16.
Yeah, Google Wayne Rooney's first goal for Everton this preseason. But I mean, the preseason friendlies are going on right now. All the Premier League teams are around the world. No one really gives a shit about it. I used to go down to MetLife Stadium every year. Get the box seats. Our friend works down there, and I just kind of got over it. We were going to go down to the Barcelona game. It's just a waste of gas money, I think. Now I'm just so bored.
Imagine like traveling across the country to watch the club you like play a preseason game when you can fly to England for probably a cheaper plane ticket and watch them play for real with probably a cheaper gate ticket as well. Like.
Yeah, these ticket prices are crazy right now. I think the cheapest ticket to get to the Manchester United Barcelona game down in Washington is $200.
There's a bug in my prosecco. Look at that guy.
But moving on. Wayne Rooney has gone back to Everton. We're all excited about that. Mike is texting.
Yeah, I just saw some. He just had a tap in. I was like, "What is this shit?"
No. If you look at it, but we are.
Is it against 20?
No. It's against some team in Africa. I think.
Whatever. I'll check it out. I'll check it out later.
Yeah, just type in Wayne Rooney's reunion goal. But it is everyone's favorite section. It is weak. We have no idea because we've been away for so long.
It's the friggin' Major League Soccer section.
Major League Soccer.
R.I.P. Chester. You're in our thoughts and prayers, Chester's family.
I had tickets to Lincoln Park next week.
Yeah, oh Jesus! Way to go, sad guys. I was having fun. I was about to say.
This is hit like closer to home. Like I was really excited for it.
I will say this was the first celebrity death that I actually.
Yeah. I've been listening
halfway
to
cared.
Yeah, I've been listening to Linkin Park all week.
I listened to Numb like twice and then I moved on, but it sucked for a second. MLS doesn't suck for any seconds. How about that transition, podcasters?
MLS breakdown roundup.
Because we've been away for a while, I'm gonna give an overall update as opposed to our usual week by week update because we haven't been here week by week. We've been lazy and made excuses. So, Eastern friggin' Conference, Toronto FC, 40 friggin' points.
By the way, before we start this, sorry for
40
interrupting.
friggin' points.
Sorry for interrupting. You were at the New York. Are you gonna do this, or are we gonna do this in a bit?
Don't care. Yeah, yesterday I was at the match. It was actually a sick game. It was a big week for New York City FC.
Yeah, thanks for the invite.
Yeah, you work Saturday days, don't you?
That's right. Yeah, I couldn't go.
sick.
But what about the Wednesday night? I thought we were gonna go to the Toronto game. What happened there?
Wednesday? Something
It was
happened.
the Gold Cup.
The Gold Cup.
All right.
No, we
Okay.
had Premier Sixes.
Oh yeah, we had soccer. Anyway, regardless, I was at the match yesterday. It was a big week for New York, playing second in the East, Toronto, who's now first in the East, by the way, but at the time, and then first in the East, Chicago, who's now second in the East, Chicago. But it was a big week for NYCFC. RJ Allen gave up a late penalty on Tuesday night or Wednesday night. Dropped the point, 2-2. But yesterday I was at the match. David Villa scored a golazo. Yo, honestly, David Villa is the most impressive player I've ever watched live. I get he's playing against a bunch of drunk frat college kids in the MLS. But, however, he is so many levels and so much smarter. And
Smarter.
yeah, sick. He was sick, yes. He was really sick yesterday. And, yo, shout out to Jack Harrison for liking my Instagram pics, man. Jack, I see you, bro. You're the best young talent in the league. You can like my Instagram pics any day.
England call up.
England call up.
So what if he becomes an American citizen? Would you like him in the next Gold Cup squad?
No, because he might taint Donovan's legacy as a winger. Mike will not stand for that.
That's an accurate
He's
statement.
better looking
But
than Landon Donovan.
I think it's harder to get in the USA pool than it would be in the English pool. But anyway, continue.
Oh, I got in the squad. Okay, next.
Yeah, sick. So currently Toronto is on top of the East with 40 points, Chicago with 38 points, and the lads, NYCFC, has 37 points. Over to the West, Football Club Dallas has 34 points. Sporting Kansas City has 33 points, and we'll get to them in a second. Houston Dynamo has 32 points. All three of the Eastern top three teams are ahead of the Western Conference teams for the Supporters Shield. So it looks like it'll be a Eastern-dominated Supporters Shield race, and it's a close one at that.
So the All-Star game.
Don't care.
Has that any relevance to the league itself, or is it just a exhibition game?
It's just like, dude, Don Garber, our favorite commissioner, has like his own picks. It sucks. It's a
Okay, all right. It's not, come on, we love the MLS. You love it. Come on, buddy.
Bro, I'm
Let's go.
gonna fight through.
Okay, all
Well,
right.
I heard last night's game against Costa Rica was a all-star warm-up game for our all-star roster.
Yeah, right.
Currently,
Kaká's like itching to get on for the national team.
yeah. He's like, oh, guys, I want to be in the mix. We got to connect.
I'm Kaká. Remember me?
leading scorers in the league, Nikolic, the Hungarian who was in Poland last year, has 16 goals.
Weren't you dissing on Hungary about 10 minutes ago?
They wouldn't have qualified for the Euros if it wasn't for an expanded field, but they were a good team in that tournament, surprisingly. 16 goals for Nikolic. Did not score yesterday, thankfully, against New York. David Villa has 14 goals. And Eric Cubo Torres has 12 goals. He's on Mexico's Gold Cup roster right now from Houston. That's pretty much it.
Who's the highest scoring American in the MLS? We got that?
Dom Dwyer.
Oh, nice.
Probably. I don't know.
American.
Sick.
That's right.
Some big news.
What happened to my Portland Timbers?
They're
How
playing
far have
right
they
now.
fallen?
They're playing Vancouver right now.
They were up 1-0 when we started recording. I don't know what's going on.
I'll find out.
All right.
Yeah. Thanks.
Can we talk about this too? I know you got a good thing, but why? You finish up now. I think I want to say about.
I just have a few overall news points. A big story broke today by the God Taylor Twellman, breaking stories like it's his job, which it is. Orlando going aggressively after the aforementioned Dom Dwyer.
Wow.
They need some attacking firepower for sure, and I think that would be a great move for the Dwyer family. Shout out Sidney LaRue, thick. And I don't know if that would mean the end of Kyle Larin. What's up?
Yeah, what's up with Kyle Larin? He's not.
You got that? He caught that DUI. He picked up a charge.
Yeah.
I don't know if maybe he'll finesse Orlando, get out the city,
You have to
change the
watch
scenery.
the Kyle Lowry arrest video. It's hilarious.
It is amazing.
YouTube.
No one has ever driven drunker in their life than Kyle Lowry drove after that Open Cup game.
His excuse to the police officer was, "I'm from Canada." That was it. He was like, "How long have you lived here? 4 years. What? What's going on?" But anyway, Portland Timbers did win. They beat Vancouver Whitecaps 2-1.
There you go, Mike.
Nice.
And yeah, so that would be a pretty big move. Like I said, I don't know if that means Kyle Larin, if it'll be a straight up switch, Larin to Sporting Kansas City. This is the last year of Dwyer's contract. So I'm assuming Kansas City's logic is if we can get some money out of him before his contract expires, sell him now before you sell him at the end of next season where he's free. Mike Pecky, former MetroStar player, current Real Salt Lake manager, had a pretty good rant after the 1-1 draw with Sporting Kansas City yesterday. It's definitely worth YouTubing.
I kind of wanted to do some outtakes for this. I'm gonna try and find like a small thing, but if not, carry on.
Of the
rant.
The headlock thing was great.
Yeah.
Get him in a freaking headlock. It's awesome. Mike Pecky has like pre-printed screenshots of like the TV of Sporting Kansas City being dirty from like a previous game and thought it applied to the game. I don't know. It was funny.
Oh, really?
It reminded me of a way less important, calm down version of who was it? Who was the football coach at Oklahoma State that did the "Come after me, I'm a man, I'm 40" rant? Remember that, Mike?
Oh, he's like, I'm a man, I'm 40.
Yeah, it was like that,
Yeah.
except not remotely as cool, but it was the MLS, so it was cooler. Video assisted referee joining the league post All-Star game. Probably the worst idea in the MLS's 20-year history. You can't throw in. Are you mad at me?
Mid-season.
No. I hate the system how it is. I hate it how it was used in the Confederations Cup. I just hate how people are saying, "Oh, VAR." I just hate the...
Dude, follow me on VAR, dude. I'll be on VAR tonight, dude.
I just hate, video... I don't know. I just hate the abbreviated...
The fact that the MLS is implementing this program halfway through their season, there's you have a whole half of season of decisions that are now irrelevant that could have been potentially overturned.
It's annoying.
Just yesterday at the NYCFC game I was at, like I said, I was in Chicago. David Accam, who is I think 4th or 5th in the league right now in goals, it was literally the Lampard no goal against Germany in the 2010 World Cup. It was that exact goal. The refs made the right decision and called it. However, if there was VAR, you know what I mean? That would have been
VAR, dude.
Dude, my VAR count is sick, dude. Hey, dude. But, dude, I like two things. I like soccer and friggin' VAR, dude. And craft friggin' beer, dude.
And cheeses, bro.
Dude. All right. No, but it's you can't implement something this drastic.
It's not a fair season if you have that was offside in March 15th, and it's that's not offside in August 15th. It's just it contradicts both decisions. You know what I mean?
On Howard Webb, you're the biggest sellout in English soccer history.
Easy, dude.
Coming over to our shores, hijacking our VAR, bro. You're not invited to my VAR party, bro. Get on my VAR party, bro.
Try my cheese though, bro.
All right, okay. MLS, we're all wrapped up. We're good.
MLS is wrapped up.
Toronto looks strong in the East, and
one last
Dallas
point.
looks strong.
Brad Guzan has officially joined Atlanta. He played Friday night in the. Don't care. He actually had a 6-save late.
I'm sure he did.
They beat Orlando.
Yeah.
And
small club.
You see the billboard that Atlanta put up in Orlando?
No, dude.
They're like, Orlando, we're coming for you. And Atlanta's manager was like, what are you forcing this rivalry for? He was like, this is a joke. He said, he's like, it takes 50 years to build a rivalry. Tata Martino.
Oh, by the way, I just bought Raul New York Cosmos jerseys.
Tell him what happened. Tell him what happened to your credit card.
Yeah, I got my credit card got
stolen.
Hacked.
Really?
This is what happens when you buy Raul jerseys from Russia.
Yeah, well, I wanted to close on the house, and then because I really wanted this jersey, but it's from a Russian website. So my friend at the bar was like, "Oh, let's buy those jerseys. You got the house." I was like, "All right." Logged in, add to cart, check out. Oh yeah, $438 for those 2 jerseys. But it'll be taken care of. Don't worry about it. My credit's shot, but anyway. Pulisic watch. Michael McLaughlin. Christian Pulisic. He has gone under the radar. He is not in the Gold Cup squad. He's not in America. He is with Borussia Dortmund this summer.
Right.
New manager. Aubameyang and Dembele are still there. So is Pulisic. Tell us more, Mike.
Well, they went to China. He played AC Milan. And he whooped some ass. He had 2 assists, and I think he had a goal, but I can't remember.
When?
I think it was like a week and a half ago. Oh, you know about this?
No, I don't. This is why. All right.
He just they had one of these, these warm up, international cup nonsense, games or whatever, and I know he had 2 really nice assists, and I think he actually might have had the other goal. I saw the highlights. No goal, all right, but 2 assists though.
No goal. 2 assists though, and one of them was very, very nice, right?
3-1 win.
It was
against
really
AC
nice.
Milan.
3-1 win, and he's just killing it, and he looks totally a part of the team. He looks even a little more athletic in the few highlights I saw. Him and Aubameyang, it looks. I think he's gonna have even a bigger breakout season. Second to my Pulisic watch is Haji Wright. You guys know who Haji Wright is?
We do. The young Schalke, former New York Cosmos player, Sam.
That's right. 19-year-old or 20 now. He got called up. He's on the Schalke first team, and he scored 4 goals. It doesn't matter who it was against, but whatever. It was a team, and it was like a
4th division team.
Yeah, it was like a 6th division German team. But he had 4 goals. And here's my thing. My question is, all right, if he's on the Schalke first team, and if he's going to actually start playing, and within a month or 2, he's actually scoring goals in the Bundesliga, does he get his name into the mix of USA national team? And 2, if he's that good already, why isn't he getting his looks already on the national team?
How old is he?
19 or 20.
All right.
I think 19, actually.
Connor, take this one.
Here's the thing with Haji Wright, and I think you can say this for a lot of our young players. You have guys that have performed well at the youth level for different national team age groups, and now they're starting to potentially come into their own.
Yes.
It's just hard to say who is going to make it and who is not. I think out of a lot of guys in the pool, Haji Wright is a little bit ahead of the curve. I think that he eventually will make it, but it's not like he'll never get a cap.
He's already made it as far as he's on the Schalke first team, and if you've seen him, dude, he looks like a man. Like I think what I'm saying is my point is this: it should be harder. It's got to be harder to get into the Schalke first team than to get a USA call up.
Ooh, controversial, Mike.
You're talking about a pool of 100-something players as opposed to a squad of 30 people trying to make an 18. I don't know about that.
I'm saying that Schalke
would beat USA.
Schalke top 11 beat the USA top 11. I would say they probably would.
I don't know. I don't know about this one.
Don't care.
I don't know.
Come on, Connor. What do you think?
No, I think no.
The
No. I don't know. No, he could be right.
I bet all of Schalke's starting 11 or internationals, they play for their country at some point or have or whatever. You might have a point there. I would love to see Dominic Dwyer tearing through Schalke's back four and Benedict how it is the worst defender at the 2014 World Cup.
All I'm saying is that when Pulisic blew up, we were like, put him into the team. We put him in the team. All right. My last point, Bruce Arena hates children as ball boys.
Dude, that was the best moment of the Gold Cup so far.
It was awesome.
That was awesome. It was awesome. I was just waiting to curse. Just be like,
dude,
also, yeah, carry on.
No, he was just like,
about the situation.
Literally, there was the ball went out of bounds in the first 2 minutes. And I guess what stadium was it in? Kansas City? Where was it?
No, it was at the Cowboys Stadium.
I was at the Cowboys. So, and all of a sudden, there's nobody to get the ball in, and Bruce Arena's like, you get the ball, because we had a little bit of momentum. And he's like, you can't have kids as the ball.
You can't have 8-year-olds as the ball boy.
Yeah, they were young.
Yeah, he was like so pissed and he was so right. And fuck if that doesn't like epitomize everything in USA soccer.
Yo, and shout out to Fox
like,
for just keeping the cameras on him the entire time he was pissed. Like the game was forgotten. It was just Bruce Arena versus CONCACAF officials. It was great.
Also, I wanna comment on. I mean, nothing against. I know Bruce likes his grub and food, but isn't he looking a little bit weighty these days?
Oh,
Isn't he?
Yo, Bruce is thick, yo.
He needs to go on. He needs to go on the paleo or something, or whatever. Take
He
him
needs
to
to visit some
CrossFit
breweries, eat some cheese. Actually, no, he shouldn't do
yeah,
that. He should do the opposite.
never
But yeah,
brewery
he's looking a bit weighty on the sidelines. He needs to do a couple of.
He's always been a fat chode, dude. He's always been a toad.
Nah.
He's always sucked.
No, he
hasn't
doesn't
been
suck,
that big.
dude.
Bruce's arteries are so clogged. Who knows if he'll make it to the World Cup?
Yes, I was thinking when I watch him
Holy
when he gets so
shit.
verklempt
Easy, guys,
and
easy.
shit.
Whoa.
What's more likely? What's more likely?
No, Bruce is gonna be there, dude, because he's fucking got the American spirit.
What's more
But-
likely? Bruce Arena having a heart attack? Bruce Arena having a heart
No,
attack
stop saying negative
after
things.
we win the
Yeah.
Gold Cup on Wednesday? Or us winning the World Cup in 2018? What's more likely?
The latter. But
The latter, yeah.
Bruce?
That's
but,
just
I mean, yeah, he does. He is the yeah.
we're gonna have him as
represents
a
America,
the guest.
Because I remember when I came over to work in America in 2001, my friends made a diary, and it was the stereotypical how fat is Sam gonna be when he comes back, all those burgers. Anyway.
Yeah.
But I think America's in a good, healthy place right now, especially with.
America is the worst it's ever. It's not.
Nah,
Our national team manager is living his final seconds.
First of all, what doesn't all right? It doesn't even matter if he is or isn't because the dude is money.
he is. Okay,
He is
on
so
to money.
funny.
On to money. Jim Whelan threw us a question last week when we promised to put a podcast out last week,
We
but
lied.
circumstances happened. But the question is, go.
Jim Whelan, friend of the program.
Okay, if you have any questions, please tweet us at the Third Touch.
Jim
By the
Whelan's
way.
question from July 6th. Jeez, we suck. What's the biggest squid move you've seen so far in the transfer window? Good terminology, Jim. We love you.
Squid move. I think the biggest squid move, I think he's referring to bizarre, maybe, or more so surprising transfer that's happened this summer. I think the biggest surprising transfer from the money perspective is Kyle Walker's to Manchester City for 50 million.
That's a good one.
I think Trippier has all the tools to be a successful right back for Tottenham Hotspur. His delivery's better than Kyle Walker's. His speed isn't. But if you have Danny Rose on the left-hand side...
Yo, breaking news. The South African great white shark beat Michael Phelps by exactly 2 seconds.
Oh wow.
Wow, we're recording a podcast and that's happening?
yeah, so to repeat, the shark beat Michael Phelps in the race.
We broke that story. We're the Taylor Twellman of shark racing. Sick.
But yeah, that's my biggest squid move.
That's a pretty good one.
Well, I'll tell you this: Kyle Walker, he's kind of fast, but he's no Jordan Morris fast. Jordan Morris, fastest guy. I love Jordan Morris. The biggest squid move is not making a transfer move for pick up Jordan Morris.
The biggest squid move is every pump of blood Bruce's arteries do, because it's a struggle.
Jesus.
All right, but anyway,
Bruce Arena, we
okay.
love you and pray for you.
But thank you guys. We've really enjoyed putting out.
Did
some
you enjoy it?
content today. Yeah, I really did.
Oh wait. Talk about social media and stuff.
Yeah,
like
follow
that.
us on Twitter. Rate, review, like, comment, subscribe. Make sure you give Mianetto, Prosecco, DOC, Treviso, Brut a try next time you're looking for some Prosecco.
It's in a black bottle with an orange label.
From 1887. This bottle we have has been aging for hundreds of years.
Our first sponsor of the Third Touch Soccer Podcast. But shout out to Jordan Spieth. Condolences to Chester Bennington and his family. And good luck to the USA national team on Wednesday. We'll be watching the Mexico-Jamaica game very closely in the next few minutes. And all you Game of Thrones fans out there, yeah, you can piss off.
Yeah,
Later.
I'm leaving immediately to watch Game of Thrones
Okay.
over
Oh,
Mexico,
God.
Jamaica.
All
Yo,
right.
see you guys. Thank you. We're
Well,
back.
I fast forward through Game of Thrones.
God
Like a
bless.
USA Gold
Yeah,
Cup.
just like
game.
the Gold Cup games. But
Yeah.
all right,
Yeah,
thanks
exactly.
guys. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next week. We promise to put out regular content from this date forward. Thank you.
We've also lied in the past, so who knows? Peace.
All right, bye.
The liars.
Would you